Hello and welcome to the Sales Show. I'm Maree Kirkpatrick, your sales and business strategist. I'm a mum, a wife, and a multi-business owner myself. With over 15 years experience in sales and business, I have worked with startups all the way through to multi-million dollar companies. I have seen the good, the bad, and the ugly. I love helping service-based businesses make an income as well as an impact. Let's jump into talking about all things sales and business. Hello and welcome back to the Sales Show. I say this every episode, but I'm super pumped to bring to you two of my amazing past clients that have also become really beautiful friends. And they are Dr. Lucy and Dr. Maree from Real Life Medicine. Welcome, ladies.
Thanks, Maree. Hello.
Thanks for having us.
Absolute pleasure. So Dr. Maree and Dr. Lucy are clients that I'm really passionate about for a few reasons. First of all, they're about making a really big impact in the health and wellbeing space, which is definitely needed because there's a lot of fads and I think a lot of misinformation that goes around in this space. I have been in the fitness industry before in a previous life, and I have seen a lot of trends and all that sort of stuff happen. But when I met Dr. Maree and Dr. Lucy, their qualifications that back them up, their experience and their real life, both of their real lives experiences from themselves has been mind-blowing to see them implement it into a beautiful business, and the way that they've scaled their business has been phenomenal. So I'd love to throw it over to you, ladies. Tell us a little bit more about your business.
You go, Maz.
Okay. So our business is called Real Life Medicine, and we are in the business of helping people reclaim their health. We run holistic health and weight loss courses, empowering people to improve their metabolism for fabulous energy, fabulous health, as well as lasting weight loss, and how to manage their mindset so that the changes become easy and long-lasting, and giving people the skills to implement them into their lives. So these changes are profound, long-lasting, and relatively easy. So people can just live their absolute best life.
Yes. And do you know what's been brilliant is I was just sharing before we started recording that I have always had issues with emotional eating. I'm really great at that. Like I could have put it on my resume back in the day. But what I found amazing about Real Life Medicine and the programs that you guys run is that it deals with so many different elements of weight loss. So both the mindset stuff with your hypnosis and all that sort of stuff, real quality food, and it's really easy. So as business owners, as mums, people that are constantly busy, we want to be able to tick the health box, but it can be really freaking hard at times, right? And that's what I absolutely loved about the work that you do and the way that you do it. Tell me the impact that you've seen with business owners on their health and wellbeing and the growth that has either been missed or lacking energy from a sales and business growth perspective.
Well, I think that, health is wealth, as they say. I know it's a cliche, but even before we were just talking, if you're unwell, then your business suffers. And that can be an acute illness, so something that just knocks you out of your, pops you into bed for a week. But more importantly, and probably more insidiously, are the longer, sort of more subtle changes that people have where their metabolism is just not on point, and so they're tired, they're lethargic, they've got brain fog, they don't think properly, they're not as productive, and they basically feel like they're walking through mud. And when you can improve that metabolism, you start to think better, you've got more energy, you're more productive, you've got better quality, you're less reactive, you're less snappy, you're less, it's profound, as Maree said earlier, that the flow-on effect of just changing the way your body processes its energy sources.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know that we're both in agreement that things in life should be as easy as possible to make it sustainable in both a business and a health and wellbeing space. And I know that when we started working together, you guys had both different ideas around sales, right? And I only learnt this when Dr. Lucy and I had a chat after we'd worked together, that I actually upset Dr. Lucy a little bit. I challenged her thinking, and I would love to say that the way that your program ran really challenged my thinking too, because I came from such a everything had to be hard.
Yeah.
Everything had to be like deprivation, even down to the point of like, I have to give up my hot chocolates in the morning. And I didn't want to freaking do that. I just didn't want to do that. And so it was like, what can I substitute in that still gives me the warm and fuzzy hot chocolate moments in the morning, but also is beneficial from a health and wellbeing space as well? And so, Dr. Lucy, I would love to understand from a sales perspective, when we first spoke and I kind of ruffled feathers a little bit with so much love, right? I did it with a pink fluffy slipper because I wanted to get you guys moving in such a more optimized path. Tell me what came up for you.
Yeah, so I think it's interesting. Weight loss is a weight management, if you like. Weight is just a symptom of underlying causes in our physiology, which is a word we used to use all the time until we met you. And so it's symptomatic of an underlying root cause. And there's lots of different root causes. And that's essentially what our program does, is unveil the root cause and then give people skills to manage that root cause in the first place. However, I didn't realize by banging on about this all the time that I was making it hard. It's already hard. And by saying to me, well, by the way, now you have to address your underlying X, Y, and Z, that it makes, they're going, oh, that all sounds a bit hard. Can't I just, get a meal plan, or can't I just order some online food? I just want you to make it easy, is what I was hearing from you. And part of me is going, well, no, that's so simple. That's why everyone's failing, because it's too simple. You're making it, you're not actually helping.
Yeah.
And what I realized was that we weren't getting people through the gate because we made it too hard to begin with.
We made it sound hard.
Yeah.
It's actually not hard.
It's
with the right tools.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it sounded hard.
Making it sound hard. Like our messaging wasn't very clear that with the right tools, this is easy. We weren't portraying that.
No.
Yeah.
And, and again, there's things out there that there's a lot of people out there promising stuff they actually can't deliver because what they're promising isn't realistic. And I wanted to make sure we weren't falling into that trap. But by doing that, I was probably making it sound way harder than it needed to be. And it's not hard. Like, it isn't hard. But, we would even say, oh, behavior change is hard. I mean, I'm thinking, what sort of person, now I'm looking back going, what sort of person leads with that? Behavior change is hard.
Yeah, but pay me to go through hard stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah, so really the program is still the program. It's still the same stuff. We haven't changed the nuts and bolts of it. What we changed was the steps to get people in the door in the first place. And it's interesting because, for example, the ultra-processed food industry, of which I hold zero respect, they spend their whole life making it easy. That's why people buy their stuff. Yep. That's why people will buy Lady Shakes, because it's easy. All you have to do is mix this powder into this water, bang, you've got your meal, easy peasy, see you later, you're going to lose 20 kilos doing this. And so that's how they sell it. Of course, it doesn't work long term because that's not how our body works. It's not how our society works. Nobody wants to live on some powdered shake for the rest of their life, but they make it easy. And so people buy in. And so part of me didn't want to be that person or that company. What we wanted to do was show people that what we offer is long lasting, not a quick fix. But we needed to change it to make it sound easier in the first place.
Yeah. And I'd also even like to, and maybe I'll throw this over to Dr. Maree, from a highly intelligent medical background, I know that when you guys spoke about the way that you changed people's bodies and all that sort of stuff, there was a little bit of a disconnect between the medical jargon and when I kept challenging you on like, yeah, but your ideal client isn't saying that they need to increase their metabolic, whatever the big words were that you guys used to use, and I can't even remember. So
Yeah.
tell me what it was
Yeah.
like to really get on the ground in that space with your ideal clients.
It was a bit of a paradigm shift. Like we thought we had done it before, but I don't think we really had until we started working with you. And being a highly qualified doctor is wonderful, but it doesn't necessarily qualify you for being able to make sort of clear messaging for what it is that you actually offer. And we were stuck in jargon land a little bit without really realizing it. Doctors, we're used to talking to doctors. People come and see us as patients. They're expecting us to talk as doctors. But it wasn't always necessarily clear. And I think you're right. People aren't sitting on the couch scrolling their phone and going, gee, I wish I had better metabolic health. I wish that my metabolic hormones were in better balance. People aren't thinking that. That might be what they need, and they certainly want the wonderful benefits from that. But people are like, I feel tired, I feel crap, I'm really struggling with my weight. These are the things that people want the solution for. And so we needed to be able to clearly communicate to them that this is what we have a solution for. It is not that hard. We know what we're doing. We really can help you, and we can make it easy. We just needed to make that clear.
Yeah. Yeah, no one's sitting on the couch going, I just need to address my physiology and my psychology.
Yeah. Although that's probably what we should be thinking, it just doesn't happen that way, right?
No.
And that's what I meant. Like, even from my background in being in the fitness industry, I had some idea about where you guys were coming from, but I also had the experience as being your ideal client too. And I kept saying to you, like, is she sitting on the couch saying that? Or what is she really saying? Or what's it like for her to go into her wardrobe and be like, this is really freaking annoying. Nothing fits me and I'm over it. I need to do something different, but everything feels hard. So I love that. And I love the way that you guys have adapted your messaging, and it has obviously made a big impact on your business. Tell me about that.
Well, even so we hold a challenge so we have our 12-week program, and before we open the 12-week program, we have a challenge, which is really, it's to get people to know us. The idea was, come and meet us. Hopefully you like us. Hopefully the information we're giving you is useful. And then you'll go, yes, this is what I need. This is a little taste. Good. We can move on and do the 12-week. But it's interesting because we've had a few iterations of the program, of the challenge. And the first one was called the No Sugar Challenge, which was, we only did that for one round when we realized that what happened was that everyone's going, no sugar. Yes, I'm going to do that, but I'm going to eat 10 tons of sugar before I start. And they were, cleaning out their pantry. So then we changed it to the sugar-free challenge, or sugar-free reset, actually. We took the word challenge out. We thought challenge sounds hard. Yep. So sugar-free reset. It's just a little reset. You're pressing the pause. You're starting again. That was pretty good. Although, interestingly, we spoke to a couple of people, including Shana, who who said, oh, I'm not doing that. That sounds too hard.
Way too hard.
Way too hard, but I'll do the 12-week.
Yeah.
And we spoke to another woman who said, oh, no, I don't want to do that. I'm going to go and do keto instead. I'm thinking, keto's much more restrictive. And so we realized that actually what we thought was pretty simple, people were interpreting as pretty hard. So we changed it, and we changed it to the blah to huzzah challenge. And the idea is that they feel blah. And so all our copy was all around blah, bloated, flat, tired, lethargic, sluggish, all of that. And you're going to go to huzzah. So you're going to feel energized, pumped, excited, or, invigorated. And that messaging has been so good. So we were getting maybe 300 or 400 people into the challenge for the first round. And this time we had 3,500.
Oh my gosh. Yes. That is so sexy. Have I told you guys that sales is sexy?
Totally.
Yeah.
Took me a while to get it, but sales is sexy. And selling is serving too. Can't let people know about our fabulous programs unless we can let them know about our fabulous program.
Yeah. And this is why when I first met you guys, I think we met at an event in Port Douglas. Was that the first time we met? I think,
yeah, it was. Yeah. We're very impressed with you.
Oh, stop it.
Yeah.
I'll take it, actually. I'll take it.
do. Yeah.
But I remember talking to you about your launches and how you were saying that you kept hitting like a certain mark and couldn't kind of get over it. And I said to you, I don't know if you remember, I was talking to you, Dr. Maree, about it. And I said, have you got a sales process in your business? And you're like, yeah, kind of, I think we do. And I was like, oh, okay. And in my head, I don't know if I said this out loud, but in my head, I was like, if we don't know we have a sales process or a sales strategy around it, we probably don't have one. And it wasn't like you guys were new in business or that you were struggling. Like you'd already hit over $1 million in your business, right? Like let's be, for the listeners out there, this is not like we decided to start a business and then we got Maree on board like 3 months later. Like that's not the way that happened. You guys had been kicking some amazing goals, but I could see that if I just helped you tweak it and optimize it, that your numbers would be so different. And it's been such a pleasure to see you guys experience that. What I'd love to understand is, because you guys have been in business for a little while, I'm sure you've done a lot of courses, a lot of programs, a lot of education, both from a university high-end education point of view, as well as from personal development and business. How many of the courses that you have done have ever taught you how to sell?
None.
Lots on how to market, turn up online, make sure you go on Instagram every day or whatever it is. So lots on how to market or get visible. But and I think because, selling's sort of like a dirty word. It's right up there with money and weight loss.
And weight loss.
And diet, and no sugar.
And so one of the things I think that was super helpful, from my point of view, that you showed me was this, and I think you called it the bridge, but even the idea that you've got somebody on one side, you call it a bridge or a river or whatever it is, they're on one side and they want to get to the other side. They know what they want. And you know that you can deliver that to them, but you've got to explain in really quick and easy language how you're going to do that. And, when you kept talking to me about you need a 3-step framework, Lucy, I'm thinking, what the frig are you talking about? Seriously, I don't want a 3-step framework. I'm not doing it because what we offer is so much more than a 3-step framework. And then I realized actually what you were teaching us is the idea that you have these 3 sort of stepping stones so that people can go, oh, okay, so you're going to teach me this and this and this. And by doing those, I'll get to the other side.
Yeah. Across the raging waters. Yeah.
And so that's where we went, rightio, and now we have a framework. And so now I say to people, we've got a 3-step framework.
Yeah. Because, and it was something that like you and I have even joked about since, right? Yeah. Every time we hear people talk about their business or like what it is that they do, Lucy will pipe in and be like, but have you got a framework or a strategy, or have you got the tools? Like, what is it that you've got? And I'm like, wow, like I feel like that has really come across. Do you feel like once you've learned how to sell, it's something that constantly, like a lot of people say to me, Maree, I constantly hear you in the back of my mind. What would Maree say? What would Maree do? What is our ideal client thinking or feeling?
Definitely. Yeah. We've got little Marees on our shoulders, I think, now that whisper in our ears. Yeah.
Love it.
And I think, you really challenged us with the idea, like we're going, they get a masterclass every week. And you're going, no one wants to do your masterclass. I'm thinking, what do you mean? Why would they not want to do our masterclass?
This was all with love, right? With love.
I know. And in my brain, I'm going, how very dare you? Of course they want to do my masterclass. But actually getting, in my mind, it was sort of implied, you do the masterclass. The implication is you're going to learn stuff, but you really have to spell out the reason they should, the benefits, as you like to call them, the benefit of attending. And now it's amazing because now I can look and I see people on their sales page and it says, my course goes for 12 weeks and you get 732 videos. And I'm thinking, no one wants to watch your stupid videos. Don't you know? So really the idea is putting what is the benefit to the person of watching the videos if you happen to have videos, or doing the masterclass. What in your favorite line, what's in it for them?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And I think that these days we're so much busier. There's so much more going on. Even before we started recording, we were all talking about everything that's been happening in life and families and health and all that sort of stuff, right? And so there's so much noise out there. It's like, what do we need to do to break through to the people that we know that we can help, and that we know, like, there was never any doubt that when I met you, both of you ladies, that there was no lack of value or lack of knowledge or lack of the ability to get people results. But it was just like, you're just not getting to the right people or enough of those people. So what do you do differently in your business now since we've worked together?
Well, I think,
oh, sorry. No, I was going to say we rewrote all our email copy and we still rewrite it. We still come in and I still go, oh, no, that sounds boring. No one wants to do that. So we still, present our offer differently. Again, even our masterclass, like our webinars that we offer, the webinars, we think, and same with the challenges, we think we give a lot of value. So again, our aim is never to, I'm not interested in sleazy sales tactics or anything like that. Our aim is always to serve, give value, help people. Some people will just take what we give them, run off and implement it and go on and live very healthy and happy lives. For that, we are extremely happy. But for the people that need more guidance, that need more expertise, that want more accountability or want more mindset skills in particular, because that is our favourite thing, behavioural change, which isn't hard anymore. It's really easy if you know how.
It's so, like, I know you mentioned Shana. Shana and I did the course together. I roped her into it and I was like, come on, mate, let's do this together. She was like, okay. And the biggest talking points that we had about you guys was the mindset stuff. That was really freaking easy. Like, stupidly, like, mind-blowingly easy because of the tools that you have incorporated in that, which I think is such a great, unique selling point that a lot of other health and wellbeing programs, courses, solutions, in inverted commas, like Lady Shakes that you mentioned, doesn't necessarily have. So, yeah, I think that's awesome. And so is sales something now that you look at differently since we've worked together? I know, Dr. Lucy, you said that you're not interested in sales being sleazy or anything like that. And I hope that that never came across in any of the work that we did because, I think that's
I think so, definitely. And that idea of getting on the floor with people, that was an important little paradigm shift, rather than sort of, top down, just explaining all of the fabulous things that we do. It's wonderful. It's wonderful actually getting down on the ground with the people that we want to help and asking ourselves, what is it that they're looking for? What is it that they want? What is it that they think they need? And looking at it from that perspective hasn't changed anything of what we do, but changed the way that we communicate about what we do. I think that's been really helpful.
Yeah. And do you see the change in presenting your value as well in that space?
Yeah, totally. And again, it's looking, and I mean, these are things like we used to offer bonuses, because you read out how to write a sales page where you have your offer and then there's always some bonuses. And simple things like, well, the idea of a bonus should be to overcome an objection or help them with an objection. So if their objection, if they say, oh, well, I don't think I'm going to have time for this, then, we created a time-saving recipe book because that's what they want. They want to save time.
Yes. Yep.
Rather than we just kept adding more courses. Oh, by the way, and you can get this course and you can get this course and we'll give you this as well. It's like basically what we didn't realize, but what we were saying is, and we're going to give you homework. And, nobody.
We're going to give you more things to do. Yay.
Yeah. We're going to give you homework all the time. So much homework that you're not going to have any life because you're going to do
You're not going to have time to eat because you've got so much homework.
You won't get it done and then you'll think that you're not getting the value and
So now we've looked at really getting clear on what, as Maree said earlier, what do people actually want? What do they want? And how can we give them what they want, but then actually deliver what they need?
Yeah. And so I'd love to understand more about the mindset shift from a sales perspective, because I think you both came into it because you two, I don't know if you guys are aware of this, you probably are, but you guys are very different but so aligned, right? Like the way that you serve your clients, both of you comes from such a different space, with different energies and stuff like that.
Mm,
And I know that you both walked through my door with very different ideas around selling and business growth and the way to do things. So I'd love to understand, even if we start with Dr. Maree first, what was sales like before you and I started playing together, and now that afterwards?
It was so painful. I felt like I would do it, but it would be kind of like, so you kind of like, if you don't mind, I guess you could maybe buy this thing perhaps, but it's okay if you don't want to. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. And I kind of almost felt like, you know, I needed to have a wash afterwards. Like it really was. I don't think I had a very healthy view of selling. But now that's completely gone. And now I understand that the selling is such an integral part of the serving. And you can't serve unless you sell. So selling is serving. And I believe so deeply in what we do. And I love the work that we do and the transformations that we can help people achieve, that I understand that selling is just a part of that. So it does not feel dirty or sleazy to me at all anymore.
Love it. Sales are sexy. I'm going to keep saying it. And how about you, Dr. Lucy?
I think for me, I've just recognised a complete skills shortage. So as doctors, we rarely have to advertise, particularly female doctor. You just hang up your shingle in a clinic and somehow your books just end up completely full. You can't, and you never have to promote yourself in any way at all. And so learning the art of that, of being able to promote yourself particularly to Australians, because Australians are different to, say, Americans in the way that we look at people, and even that phrase self-promotion is something that's often frowned upon in our culture, and over there they're celebrating it. So again, you need to recognise who your audience is and how you deliver what you offer. And, you know, as doctors who offer online programs, we're in a very, very small minority. There's not many doctors doing what we do. And so we didn't even have dare I say it, a framework on how to do it. So we would sort of haphazard, and every now and then I'd be thinking, well, you know, you need me, and it would be like, but I couldn't convey it in a way that felt authentic and valuable without feeling like I was doing sort of, you know, bro American sales. Or you're on mute.
A lot of the sales training that even I've experienced has been very much run by men in suits, or very American. And I know that when we looked at your webinars and things like that, you were doing like your value stacks and the way that you presented your prices, even from a visual perspective. I know that we changed that up because a lot of your ideal clients are sitting in Australia, and Australians do buy very differently. We are very cautious. We're very safe. Where in America, it's like, buy this, steak knives, all the inclusions and all that sort of stuff. So I love that we really peeled that back for you guys, and you could nail the value element of it so that it was so clear that it was just a no-brainer. So I think that's beautiful. What do you feel like is your next steps from a business perspective, from your growth, your next growth pillar?
Yeah, I think, look, one of the things is adapting to economic times. So, you know, I know at the moment there's a lot of course creators who are feeling that they're not reaching revenue goals because, you know, money's tight. And we get that. So for us, one of our goals was to make sure we didn't go backwards at all, that we maintained our sales goals for this year whilst the world is in a bit of turmoil. And we've certainly managed to do that. So that's again, that's why we were so happy with the whole Blata Huzzah leading into the next round of the 12 weeks. It was great compared to other people who were seeing all of their sales plummet. And it's like, oh. So I think what we're hopefully demonstrating is that what we offer it's authentic. Like, you know, Maree and I are in there doing it with you. We're not selling some sleazy half-baked program that, you know, is rubbish, that doesn't work, where we're just really interested in dollars. We're not. I've said this before. If I was interested in dollars, I could just go and sell my script pads. That would be easy. That's the best way to make money.
Black market. Love it.
Yeah, absolutely. So I think that the first step is certainly to make sure we maintain our growth next step would be to work out, okay, where can we go where we can help more people? And it's interesting, you look on Instagram and there's, what we call the gym bros out there telling women in particular that, if you want to lose weight, you need to cut your calories, and they keep presenting all these low calorie foods and this is what you can eat with low calories. And it's like, it's so harmful to women's health. So in some ways we need to get our message out there to save women from the gym bros who are giving them bad advice and setting them up for long-term metabolic failure, essentially.
Yeah. Which is huge, right? Like there are so many, and I think your industry is quite heavily populated.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's busy. It's noisy. Yeah.
And there's a lot of rubbish around there. Like Instagram, across Instagram, Facebook, even YouTube. Some of the YouTube shorts that I see, I think, oh my gosh, like stop it. Just stop doing stupid stuff.
Yeah.
But I really feel like real life medicine is the real deal. Like it is literally game changing. And I think you both have the ability to make such a huge impact as well as a large income, because you're both mums, as I am as well. And so we don't go into business to work 50 billion hours stressed out on the floor thinking I might as well just go and work at Woolworths or go onto the black market and sell prescriptions.
Sell my script ads.
Yeah. So what would you say to people that are either worried about selling or that are missing that selling skill set in their toolbox from a business perspective?
Chat to Maree. Yeah, skill up. Like these are learnable skills. There's nothing amazingly special about us. Well, maybe there is, but
there definitely is.
Yeah, totally. Of course there is. Yeah, but if we can learn it, anybody can. You need the skills to be able to get your messaging and your sales messaging right, and you can do that. Like it's doable.
Yeah. And I think the biggest penny drop for me was that sales isn't marketing. They're different.
Yes.
I didn't know that before I met Maree. I had no notion that they were different.
No.
Can you expand on that more, Dr. Lucy? Because I think I love that.
Yeah. So, in fact, every now and then I feel like I'm some sort of evangelist, it's so interesting because we will say to people who have done the 12-week program, many people who do the 12-week program become real life medicine zealots. And I feel like we've become Maree Kirkpatrick zealots.
Yeah. So, I'm not complaining, by the way. I love it.
So in my, and again, the simple way I like to think about it now is that marketing is leads. So how many people you can get into your world, that's leads. Those leads they're not customers yet. They haven't purchased from you. They're not clients. They're just there in your ether. And if you don't have a system or a process to move them from being in your ether to being customers, then the majority of them won't have the transformation that you offer. Okay. And again, we have some people that will just listen to our podcast and go, oh, your podcast is so helpful. I've done everything on it and I've lost 20 kilos. And I go, great. They're the minority.
Yeah.
The majority of people still need guidance, in like strategies and really in-depth discussions to make the change, as you did with us. We could go and read some sales book. You read it, and this is what my brain goes, oh my God, that's amazing. How good's that? And then it's fallen out of my brain and I've forgotten all about it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think working with somebody is the key to then implementing what you need.
And I think it was also pushing you along a little bit and challenging when things came up for you too, right? And saying, and you're like, but they don't need that. And I'm like, but what are they telling you? Like, what is the conversation already happening in their head? And how do we really get on the floor with them to say, I know exactly where you're at. And you've both had experiences where you've been in your ideal client's shoes, what I call on the floor. So whether it's challenges with weight loss, binge eating, pregnancy-related challenges, all that sort of stuff, you've got the real life experience. It's about tapping into that and showing them that I get you. I get where you've been because I've literally been in your shoes, and I've also got the medical background. And I know this is on a podcast, but Dr. Maree has a whole heap of amazing looking certificates in her background that show that she's probably done a few exams and essays and assignments along the way.
Just a few.
Yeah. So you've really got that backing of qualification as well as the real life lived experience. So I think that's, I think the world of both of you. I think you're so amazing at what you do. I love the impact that you're having out on the world, and my life included. Like we've spoken many times about me being the soccer mum on the side of the training, on the side of the field, talking to other mums that are feeling exhausted, feeling flat, feeling like everything's too hard, but then they're going and doing weight loss medication because they think it's a quick fix and all of that, but it's actually causing a whole heap more issues than needs to be. So it has been an absolute pleasure working with you guys. I love the fact that you have changed your understanding around sales and business growth, and you've really taken that. Like, I even watch from the sideline of your marketing and your social media presence, and the way that you do your ads and copy is just so different to what it was before we started working together. So you're like the perfect little students that have just implemented. So absolutely beautiful. If business owners are struggling with their health and well-being from an energy point of view, with the amazing brain fog that everyone freaking loves, what would you recommend to them to sort out from a health perspective?
So we have a little framework now that we know what a framework is. And it's honestly, the people that come to us, see us, are women that are often, they're high achievers, they're busy, they're doing really well in lots of aspects of their life. They've got their business sorted, they've potentially got children, they've got, dog, all of those sorts of things. And their health just gets popped down the bottom of the list. So, and then the thing that we're finding is often that the clincher is we're filling in a bit of perimenopause or menopause, and suddenly what they used to do no longer works, which is often really what people come. They go, I used to just go on shakes for a bit, I'll lose some weight now, but that doesn't seem to be working anymore. So we really say to people, it's the 4 S's. So it's sustenance, which is just a fancy way of saying nutrition that starts with an S. Some strength training, building muscle, prioritizing sleep, and managing stress. And people think that managing stress is to eliminate all external stressors, and the only way they know to do that is to run off to a deserted island. And in fact, it's got nothing to do with that, because there are always external stressors. Every single person will always have stress in their life. That's normal. Unless you live with no humans ever, you will always have some form of stress. And even if you live with no humans, you will then have the stress of loneliness. So again, stress management is skills. It's just a development of skills so that you can learn to manage your internal responses to external stressors. And just like you taught us sales skills, we teach people life skills, and they're not taught, and particularly for people that are our age, so 40s and 50s, we definitely weren't taught them. Kids these days are given a lot more skills in school around mind management, emotional regulation, all of those things. We got none.
Yeah. So sales and health, I think, go hand in hand, right?
Yes. I think they do. And business and health and mindset are also intertwined. And a happy side effect of working on your mindset around your health and wellness is that it improves your mindset through every aspect of your life. It just ripples through.
Yeah. I always used to think that the best way to drive the business and get higher levels of success was just more hours, more hitting the pavement, all that sort of stuff. Yeah. And what I realized was the more successful I got, the more weight I would put on. More, because I felt like my only way to celebrate was alcohol, rubbish, high carb food, like let loose for a bit, have a special treat, And so the difference that you guys have made from a mindset shift on the impacts that you've had on my life has been huge in that when my health improved, my business improved as well. And I've got better ways to manage the success and the mindset stuff around even new levels of business and the mindset stuff that comes with that sort of stuff is also, you need to manage that, and you need to manage it from your head first and then your mouth.
Yeah.
So
Absolutely. And look, we always say to people, particularly, so, again, if people are wanting to lose weight, and lots of people do, and that's fine. Again, there's this little ripple in this society now saying, oh, you're not allowed to lose weight. That's just superficial. And, it's like getting lip filler. If you want or need to lose weight, that's fine. You're allowed to do that. You're the boss of you. What we want to be able to do, though, is unlearn some of the stories in our head around weight loss and around, air quotes, dieting, because those stories are not helpful to our long-term health. And again, that's our bread and butter. That's what we love unpacking for people. And then when you unlearn the diet stories, you can relearn really helpful, easy ways to implement what you want to do most of the time. Doesn't have to be perfect, but it does have to be consistent.
All I could keep thinking when you were saying that was, I feel like it's the same with sales.
Absolutely.
Totally.
It is. It absolutely
There's
is.
so many stories that come up for people, especially women in business, of like, is it too expensive? Will people think that I'm a total ripoff? Does my money equal my self-worth? And all that rubbish that comes from a sales and stories point of view. I feel like I had that from a health and wellbeing side of view. And if we can change the mindset around that and have better strategies so that it is easy, so that it doesn't always have to be perfect. Like even me as a sales chick screws things up. And I'm okay to admit that. I'm human, funnily enough.
Yeah.
And so being able to go back and look at that from a mindset perspective, every time you were saying that, I was like, I think it's the same with sales. Really do. People have these blocks around it. Sales is icky. Sales is uncomfortable. Sales is gross. You have to hustle. You have to convince people, in air quotes, to join your program or buy your products and services. And it just doesn't have to be like that. It really can be easy. It can be streamlined. It can be easily optimized. So
I think all you have to do is to show people that you can solve their problem. And when you can do that, they go, oh, good.
Yeah. And actually care about the people you're wanting to work with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Totally.
Be a human. So, awesome. Well, thank you so much for joining us today, beautiful ladies. It has been my absolute pleasure to both have you on the sales show. I've been meaning to have you guys on here for a very long time. It's taken me a little while to get you here, but it has also been an absolute pleasure to watch your business grow and flourish, and for you guys to have, as I said before, such a beautiful impact out on the world, as well as in my life and my business, as well as clients and stuff like that as well. So thank you so much for joining us. If you have any questions, if our listeners have any questions, where's the best place to reach you?
So all of our socials are under Real Life Medicine. So either Facebook or Instagram is where we hang out the most, or our website is rlmedicine.com. There's lots of freebies on there. There's downloadable. We have an ebook which is called The Doctor's Guide to Weight Loss, which really goes on and explains, I guess, unpacks the whole hormonal basis to weight management that, again, you won't get from a gym bro. But head over there, rlmedicine.com.
Yeah. Perfect. Awesome. And if you've got any questions for the sales show, just email us at podcast@mareekirkpatrick.com and we will get back to you. Have a fabulous day until our next episode.
Bye-bye, everyone.
Bye for now.
Bye. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of The Sales Show. Please share it on social media for your friends to see, and make sure you tag me at Maree Kirkpatrick so I can personally say thank you. If you would like to show me some love, leave me a review on Apple Podcasts. I'd love to hear from you. Email me at podcast@mareekirkpatrick.com. And if you would like to work with me further or see any of the free resources mentioned on today's show, they can be found at mareekirkpatrick.com. I truly hope this podcast provides useful information and so much value to you so that you can build a business with impact and income.